Head of music at Jackson College, director of instrumental music and professor of music at JC, Dan Bickel. Hey, Dan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Nice to see you.
I'm doing well, thank you.
Great to have you back. Before we get to what you wanted to talk about today, we have for you the frame of the week, the picture of the week from I've Been Framed from earlier this year, which features a shot from Percussion Concussion.
Wow, the George Crockett Academy drummers.
Yeah. So
That's
we thought that would
wonderful.
look nice on the wall in your space at JC.
Yeah.
And you can see Amy did an awesome job with cutting the frame with the music notes and the colors. Everything comes together nicely from I've Been Framed. So thanks to Amy and everyone at I've Been Framed. It's awesome. There you go.
Thank you. Yeah, the leader of this group is a member of the Honolulu Boom as well. And it was great that they had them. They were all middle schoolers and elementary school students in here. You can kind of tell. I mean, these guys were going for it. They put on a show.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to several high schoolers after they said, we got to step up our game. That was amazing. They were really fantastic. So yeah, I will happily share that and display it. Thank you.
Awesome. So yeah, you are helping kids step up their game. As every year you look at what is being offered at JC in terms of music, and there's more and more and more. And I think right now there's a new rehearsal space under construction.
It's coming along really well. It's the old Federer rooms at JC. So like you walk in the beautiful glassed-in lobby area, and it's behind the switchboard, but you can't get to it directly because music is loud. So they've soundproofed it really nicely, and it's going to be a real showpiece. JC's putting a lot of effort into it, and President Phelan's been a real advocate for us. We lucked out that he joined us for our concert in October for the voiceovers on The Nightmare Before Christmas, and we really got to have a lot of good conversations through that. And it has been a lot of really great support. It feels like a nice place to be. Even in my 8th year, I'm really enjoying myself, and it's a good place to be. I'm looking forward to the new space.
I always love it when I'm on the campus. It's a great place. We're lucky to have it in Jackson, for sure. Is Dr. Phelan musical? Besides the voiceover, will he play anything or sing anything?
Mainly vocalist is what I understand. He was taking bagpipe lessons at one point, but I've never gotten him to play. But he loves the bagpipes, just loves them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you might be able to get Greg O'Connor with his guitar.
That would be a band right there.
We've got another opportunity for the community to come out and hear the work of your students and your community concert band.
Yes, the Talking About My Generation idea, it came out when I just throw a bunch of themes out there in my little groups within the band, mainly people who are sticking around to chat. But last summer I just threw out 5 or 6 themes and we picked our favorites. And this is bringing back a song that I actually arranged back in 2017. We first performed in 2018, and the whole concert kind of works backwards from that. It's called British Influence, and it starts with a vocal point singing You Can't Always Get What You Want by the Rolling Stones. And we have guest stars joining us this year that I'm really excited about. Scott Moran from Flight will be singing with us, and J.D. Boone from Flight will be playing guitar on the British Influence. And You Can't Always Get What You Want leads into Misty Mountain Hop by Led Zeppelin, and it features our jazz band as well as our guests, the real guys from Flight. And then finally it ends with Hey Jude, with all the groups, Vocal Point, the community concert band, the jazz band, and our guests. And the idea behind it was music from every generation that has made, that has gone the distance was popular at its time. So we were trying to represent the, different countries, different eras, different genres, songs that mean something to a lot of people leading up to things like Motown. And we even have 2 guest stars playing violin on The Devil Went Down to Georgia this year, Jasmine Haas and Emma Brugger, both from Northwest. Jasmine's a teacher there, middle school band director, and then Emma's a student there. But we're just pulling out all the stops to make this exciting. And the JC Drumline, of course, is going to be playing, and Vocal Point's doing Talking About My Generation songs, including like Sing 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 with their guest musicians. So we're pulling out all the stops.
All right, we have some photos from you rehearsing in that new space by JTV's Jeff Steers, and it's awesome. You've got a lot of room, and I think maybe were you on a stage when you were doing this?
This is the Ruth Day Theater where
Okay.
we've been rehearsing. The band's been in there for about 20 years, but with the addition of Sarah Ann Tomzak, the theater spaces that have the name theater in them are going to be theaters, which makes sense. But that is where we've been rehearsing since Ron Douglas was at JC. And, oh, that's Alex Childs Brown. I'm going to see him later today. But in our new space, that will allow the theater to be a performance space again like it was originally, as opposed to a rehearsal room.
Got a big band. It's amazing how many personnel. How many are there?
Most concerts lately we average 78. It's gone as high as 92 and as low as 68.
Amazing.
Coming out of quarantine, it was actually 41. It took some time to get people back. I haven't seen these. Wow, that's what I look like.
It is. Oh, great. And your brother was also holding a baton and a few shots too.
Yeah, within this concert, we actually have a couple other interesting cameos. My brother Paul is conducting a piece called Third Suite by Jager. Then we also have Chris Evan Haas is a local composer. He's also a composition instructor. So the concept of talking about my generation, we are world premiering a piece by Tim Howard. And it's video game music called Power and Dominion. It's a very cool, video game background-ish, exciting boss fight kind of song. But the composer may be coming to conduct. So how much more can it be talking about my generation? A brand new song with the composer right here. And then Ron Douglas, of course, I always want him to be part of the concerts. He's conducting a piece called Dancing into the 20s that deals in ragtime dance music styles, and it's quite a fun piece to play.
All right. Well, I know that's not actually Ron Douglas's generation.
Right.
Yes. But what about you? What would you say your generation is?
Oh gosh, I grew up listening to Weird Al Yankovic, the Spartan Marching Band, and Kiss. So you put those together, I think you'd say disco, mid-'80s kinds of things that really shaped what I like doing. But I really liked playing the trombone, and my dad's a trombone player. So I listened to a lot of traditional jazz, lots of Louis Armstrong, the New Orleans style, from when I was very young. My brother and I joke we didn't really have a choice. We were going to become Dixieland musicians. And we love it. It's one of the times we all spend time together. And even that band, the Jackson French Quarter Band, we're quite busy. We're playing 5-6 times a month sometimes. Places that'll have us. We just played at Vista Grand Villa on Monday, and still going well. Still having fun.
Dan's actually in 5 or 6 different bands. You've got plus Jazzy Jets and the Community Concert Band, and the Jazzy Jets are performing around town as well.
Yes, we just played at the Jackson Crossing for their. They're doing a lot of really nice events at the Jackson Crossing now, so I've been lucky enough to team up with them. And then we're playing, what day is it now? It's Wednesday. Tomorrow we're performing at Spring Arbor Assisted Living. We use those as good opportunities to get ready for our shows and get out into the community. But we're getting ready for the concert at the same time as well, but always gives us a good reason to play a lot of different styles. Pennsylvania 65000 fits right in with Treasure by Bruno Mars if you have the right audience.
Nice. Now, Andy had never heard of City of New Orleans.
Oh.
So, it's a surprise. I was at the concert that Jackson Symphony did at the County Tower Ballroom.
Oh, okay.
Where they played music by the Strings Quartet of Fleetwood Mac.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked if we ever did this again, had like a small combo that did pop songs, what would you like? And people could fill out a card, and I wrote Beatles, James Taylor, and the young lady looked at my card and said, I've heard of the Beatles, but who's James Taylor?
Oh.
You forget about, there's so many and so much in the world of music that there's a lot that people have never been exposed to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and a lot of them who have a lot of staying power. A lot of it's through movies and soundtracks, I'm noticing, like songs that came back from Guitar Hero and from Guardians of the Galaxy, and kids' movies, like Pixar-style movies and animated films. They choose songs that kids learn that are 30 or 40 years old. So it's a nice way to keep what I consider to be good music in the culture.
All right, this concert is absolutely free, and it's happening at Potter Center on Sunday, April 14th at 3 p.m. You don't need tickets, you don't need anything, you just need to show up.
Come with a willingness to have a great time and see a lot of young musicians and musicians of all ages, and hang out with me and Dr. Hinsey and the guys from Flight and the Jazzy Jets. Jack Tallman from the Honolulu Boom, he's our drumline instructor. So we like to put us all together for a show every year and have a good time.
Awesome. Well, I'll look forward to it, and I hope to see you at it on Sunday, April 14th at JC. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thank you.
Dan Bickle, Director of Instrumental Activities and Professor of Music at Jackson College. Lots more coming up on today's show.